Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I just got my coffee delivery from my lovely wife. And today we're going to talk about snowblowers. I wish someone paid me for these coffee inserts. Anyways, okay, you may leave now. I'm just kidding. Alright, so if you go to simplyeditions.com and you click on Ultimate Snowblower Buying Guide, you will find the best freaking article, the best buying guide on snowblowers. Shocking? Yes. But it's also true. Alright, so you're on simplyeditions.com. You're like, man, I would really like to buy a snowblower. But how do I know which one to pick? Well, you're very lucky because I went through the trouble of going to Lowe's, Home Depot, Amazon, and Sears, and Consumer Reports. And what I did is I read a bunch of reviews for their top rated snowblowers. Was it boring? Yeah, it was really boring. Very tedious and boring. But I learned a crap load of information, and this information will be very useful for someone that actually needs to buy a snowblower. Unlike me, I already bought a snowblower. But you might need this information, so let's get to it. By the way, in this snowblower buying guide, I might have inserted some little celebrity jokes in there that might just make you laugh a little bit. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. We'll see. But let's just talk about a few things. I think the debate is over about climate change. Even yes, we're getting a crap load of snow everywhere right now, right? And that's why you need a snowblower. But why are we getting snow in Georgia and Texas and Florida? Why is hell freezing over? I think we screwed up our climate. I really do think so. Or it could just be some random weather pattern that hits us every 1,000 years. Who knows? Time will tell, but it seems like 95% of all scientists do agree that we screwed up our climate, as you can tell by that sound. And I think we should all do something about it. But that's not the purpose of this snowblower buying guide, so who cares about that? Anyways, yeah, in the article I actually compared our current weather to you could describe our weather patterns as like nut job bad, right? Like it's the equivalent of if you take Gary Busey, Miley Cyrus, and Lindsay Lohan, you create a twins type of baby together with them, with that centrifuge thing, and you spin them around and you create that super baby, except this would be the super nut job baby. And that kind of describes our weather lately. If you've been watching the news, and not just in America, but all over the world, with the crazy stuff that's happening, it's just bizarre things are happening. I actually read an article that in Sochi, they had to preserve the snow under blankets on the mountains for multiple months because they were afraid they would not get natural snow. And in addition to that, they're actually using a lot of snow machines to make sure they have enough snow. But a lot of athletes that are skiing on these slopes are complaining that snow sucks because a lot of it is actually man-made and it's not like that fluffy, powdery stuff, the natural stuff. But that's a different story. It turns out that a lot of places are getting snow that are not used to snow, and that's the purpose of this article, because snowblowers are a staple for every northern state, but maybe not so much for like the middle part of the country, like the North Carolina area. I don't know, is that like Northern California? Probably. And there's a lot of choices out there, but when you have a lot of choices, a good portion of them suck. And so what I did is I weeded out all the ones that suck. And here's how I filtered these out. First, I was looking for snowblowers with a ton of reviews. So, I was looking for at least 40, 50 and up reviews, because that way you have a good sample of reviews to read. and to really see like if there's any reliability issues, or if there's some kind of strange thing that happens with the blower. And it also will be very telling in, you know, what people actually think of it. So I found a bunch of these, and there's several different categories, and I picked at least 3 for each category, and I'm going to tell you all about them right now. So I'm going to save you a ton of research if you watch this video cast, which if you're hearing me talk right now, you're probably watching. So let's see. Let's just mention a few things. Let's mention a few things real quick. In 2013, over here where I'm from in Connecticut, the northeast part of the country, we had a blizzard in 2013. I was luckily in California. Actually, let me minimize that. That's actually, whoops. See this right here? This is me in California during the same time the Northeast was getting a blizzard. This is the Griffith Observatory. And while my family was shoveling about 2 feet of snow, I was enjoying some awesome weather in California. But we're not going to talk about that. Anyways, so we had that blizzard, right? And it's kind of funny because during that blizzard, you know, they closed down the airports, the highways, government buildings. And it's kind of funny because during that time, they did shut down the government for a little while. And basically, the government finally had an excuse for why they didn't get any work done, right? The government was shut down. Oh, that's our excuse. We didn't get any work done. So, isn't it kind of strange that these jerks just several months later constructed their own government shutdown just to give them another excuse not to get any work done? But in that government shutdown, the only snow that fell was from Troy-Bilt's nose. You don't know who Troy-Bilt is? Well, you probably do. You've probably seen him on the news. Let me just click this link real quick. He's the Florida representative that got arrested on cocaine charges. Here he is right here. Here's this guy. Troy-Bilt. So it was snowing, except just in this guy's nose. Anyways, enough about the government shutdown. You know, things have been a little nuts with the weather. I mean, it snowed in Georgia. And, well, no. And although it was just an inch of snow, it caused havoc over there because they're not used to snow. So, you know, chances are it might snow where you live, especially if you're located around the midsection of the United States and further up north. So, and if you're in the Northeast, Northwest, it probably snows there a lot anyway. So you already have a snowblower, or you're about to replace a snowblower, and in that case, you did find the right video, and there's the links below for the article where you can download the printable guide, and you can actually shop right from the guide by clicking the links. It'll take you to the latest sales for the models we're going to discuss right now. So first, let's just talk about a few snowblower types. Okay, we have the single stage electric snowblower. Now, these are the smallest snow throwing machines you can buy. They feature a rubber lined auger, which throws the snow, and it's also responsible for propelling the machine down your driveway. So it's very close to the ground, which is good for, you know, launching the snow, but it also picks up gravel. So you do not want to be using a single stage snowblower on a gravel driveway, or if you have just a bunch of debris on your driveway, because you're going to launch those projectiles at your house, at your neighbor, which maybe you do want to do that, or you're going to launch it at your car, which would suck, especially for me because I'm a car guy. So anyways, single stage electric. You don't want to use this where it snows a lot. Like, you know, this might be good for North Carolina, South Carolina, little stuff like that. I'm not sure about Pennsylvania. That might be the cutoff line. Maybe Washington, D.C. would benefit from one of these. as well as the single stage gas snow blowers. It's the same thing except you don't have to walk around with a cord. It's gas powered, but the same thing. You have that auger which scoops up gravel, so it's ideal for paved driveways and paved sidewalks. You don't want to be using this on anything that has gravel. So next is the two-stage dual-stage snowblower, and these are extremely popular in the Northeast. Let me read you this description. Two-stage gas snowblowers are popular for longer, wide driveways and in areas that exceed 8 inches of snow in a snowfall. Two-stage refers to the different methods used to handle the snow. Stage 1 being the auger, which gathers the snow, and stage 2 being the fan-like impeller, like a paddle that throws the snow out of the chute at high rates of speed. These blowers have an auger that doesn't touch the ground, so it's a must for people with gravel driveways to clear. Another feature on these is that the engine powers the wheels, a fantastic feature especially in really deep snowfalls. Just push a two-stage snowblower in 1 foot of snow, and you will be aching for that powered wheel option very soon, because it's a pain in the ass, really, because it's a heavy machine. They could weigh over 200 pounds, and you're in snow, slippery stuff, and you're pushing this thing, and it's difficult. If that thing messes up on you, and if you have back problems, which I'm unlucky to have because of a dumb car accident, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be pushing some heavy 200-pound machine in a foot of snow. That's just ridiculous. So luckily, most two-stage machines actually have powered wheels, so that's the beauty of those. And another feature, blah blah blah, is the engine powers the wheels of a taxi. Okay, just blah, 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 blah. Okay. Next is the three-stage snowblower. Now, I decided to mention this in the article, but unless you live in Canada, maybe Vermont, New Hampshire, maybe Washington State, Montana, all these northern states, you might need this, but it is, number one, it's very expensive. We're talking about like 2-3 G's sometimes. They're usually a lot wider, a lot more powerful. And let me read the description. These are the largest snowblowers you can buy, and they are the most efficient at clearing snow and ice from your driveway. They have every feature that the two-stage models have, with the exception of having two augers that scoop heavy snow and ice into the chute, where the impeller launches it out at high speeds. Some three-stage snowblowers are capable of launching snow and ice 50 feet away, and most dual-stage, they do 30 to 40 feet. Most homeowners will not be buying one of these because of the high cost, unless they really need one because they have a large driveway and a storage shed to store these monsters. Three-stage snowblowers are used more for commercial reasons than they are for residential purposes, so we have not included any in the snowblower buying guide, blah blah blah. Okay, which I already told you. So a contractor, a handyman, he might buy this because it will allow him to make more money quicker. You probably don't want to buy this because, number one, it costs too much. It's huge unless you have a lot of ample storage space. You don't want this thing. The thing is a behemoth. And which brings me to another thing. The single stage, the small ones, they collapse. Like where you have the handle for them, usually there's like a wing nut. You flip that over a couple times and you could collapse the machine into a small, compact, like a rectangular shape, and it's easier to store than the big ones like the dual stage. Now sometimes you may live in a northern area of the country, but you don't have the storage space to get a dual stage, so you will get the single stage. And what that means is you will be doing a lot more passes, especially in a big storm, and it could just be a big pain in the ass, but at least it'll be a lot better than shoveling the snow with a shovel. Now, on the other hand, a dual stage model, it is going to take a chunky footprint out of your garage, no doubt about it. Right now, I have a single bay garage. I have my project car, which is like a 1999 Ford Mustang GT converted to a Saline Speedster, and I can't do anything in the garage right now. It's just cramped as hell. And because I got the snowblower in there, and So, that's the negative. You got to have storage space. Maybe you might have to buy a shed if you can't fit it in your garage. Um, we are fortunate enough to be buying a house soon, and we're opting for the two-car garage, so that should be fine. But that's something to think about when you're buying a snowblower. Think about the off season, where you're going to put this thing. And I actually heard of stories in the last blizzard, people stealing snowblowers from people's properties. Like some people left them in their driveways once they were done, and a guy would just pull up in a truck. Him and his buddy would just run out there, steal the snowblower, drag it to the truck, throw it into the bed, and just leave. So that did happen, which brings me to another thing. The same thing was happening with generators when we had a big hurricane over here that knocked down a lot of power lines, and people were stealing generators. We actually had to chain our generator to a tree and to a fence just to be safe. But anyways, so we touched on the snowblower types. We touched about what to do in the off season. Talked about snowblower storage space, and let's talk a little bit about how snowblower buying habits have changed. In the past, you went to your local Lowe's, Home Depot, or similar store, and you really didn't know what the hell you were buying. There was no customer reviews back then. You had to just basically trust the guy, the salesperson at Lowe's or Home Depot. And I think a lot of us might have learned that they're just normal people that just get a job at Lowe's or Home Depot, and they really don't know much in a lot of cases. Sometimes these companies do hire someone that is knowledgeable, which is fantastic, because when you run into them, it's nice to actually get a professional, nice to get professional assistance when you need it. But I often found that just because you're dealing with the store that sells these things, it doesn't mean you're talking to a person that actually knows what the hell the product really is, and a lot of them talk out of their, something. So now you have the internet, and with that comes all the customer reviews, and which brings me to another point. Back in the day, you were able to find products, especially electronics, that had perfect reviews. Now that doesn't happen. There's a couple reasons why. Number one, there's a lot more people reviewing products. And number two is competition. Competitors are going on these sites to put a bad review against their competitor and kind of guide people to their product. So when you're reading reviews, be aware of like suspicious comments. If they really badmouth something, for instance, if something had 150 4 and 5-star ratings and everyone was just like, oh, this is the best thing, blah blah blah. But then you read like one or two comments where it's like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. It broke the first day and this happened and then it blew up and blah, blah, blah. But then I bought this machine from the competitor and oh my God, it's the best thing since sliced bread. It never broke on me, blah, blah, blah. So if you come across that, I don't know if you should trust it, because I did notice it a lot. Recently, we just bought a NutriBlast, and I remember reading one of those reviews. I can't remember the site. I'll say Amazon, but I knew right away this was a competitor. I think of the Ninja juicer, and it was just tacky, and it was very obvious that that's what was happening in that review. But so when you're reading reviews, and I definitely recommend you read reviews, even if you pick one of these machines that we're going to go through right now, make sure you read the reviews for yourself. Most sites like Sears, Amazon, Lowe's, Home Depot, you could click on the total amount of reviews or the star rating, and then it chops it up into 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stars, and you could dissect the reviews even further, which is great, because you do want to read what all the negatives are, and you want to read the positive as well, but you want to know the whole picture. But just be aware people can lie, and they do lie, and now it's happening more than ever, because a lot of people go to these sites and they read the customer reviews. And another thing with the reviews is I also logged into Consumer Reports, and I assessed what they said about these snowblowers, and if Consumer Reports rated the product as a best buy product or a recommended buy, I put that designation in the downloadable. Let me get it right here. In the downloadable snowblower buying guide. And don't mind the year, I just haven't updated that yet, but I will update it because it's current. Anyways, so the downloadable guide basically just has a lot more criteria to look at, a lot more specifications. And I didn't list all the specifications that don't matter, okay? You don't need to know, like, it's a metal flake paint job, which is actually something you will not find in the description, but I'm just being silly and trying to exaggerate what you could possibly find in there. But the things you will find in here are the amount of reviews. And the numbers on here, by the way, are pulled from November 20th, which was the first day I made the article. So for instance, this machine right here, the Sno-Joe SJ620, had 227 reviews and a 4.3 rating, and it was $141 in November 20th, 2013. But what we're going to do is do this. We're going to jump ahead into the future and look, 335 customer reviews and a 4.3 rating, and the current price is $135. All right, we're going to discuss what kind of criteria is in the snowblower buying guide. We have the reviews, the rating, the average rating, the price, the engine amperage for the electric snow blowers, and engine cubic centimeters for the gas. Starter, all of the ones reviewed are push button start. So you're welcome. And okay, here the pounds per minute. This is how much pounds of snow the machine can move in 1 minute. We have that figure here, and if there's a little asterisk, that means I had to calculate that using fancy schmancy mathematics. Throws, feet, that's how far the machine will throw the snow in feet. Terrain type, it's either flat or sloped. Okay, honestly, most single stage models without powered wheels should be flat terrain, but if the manufacturer decided to list it that it could do sloped, then I put sloped in there. But I'm just letting you know from personal experience and from what I read. Another thing is surface. Surface means it could either be paved or paved or gravel, or both. Actually, it's paved or both in the guide. Again, the single stage model, since they have the auger that's responsible for its propulsion because it doesn't have powered wheels, you do not want to use that on gravel because it will launch that gravel at anyone that's in front of it. So handling, sometimes these things could be a little cumbersome to like churn. So I just listed how the handling was judged by reviewers and by these websites, including Consumer Reports. Shoot angle. This is, they have a little chute on top of them. Let me show you what I mean. Chute. You see this chute? This thing could be steered left to right, and right here I just put in the amount of degrees you could turn it. So obviously the bigger the angle, the better. Case in point, I just went through a snowstorm, and it was a little bit of a pain in the ass to go from the sidewalk to the driveway. It's a 90-degree turn, and it would have helped if I had 10 extra degrees. Now I believe my model has 180 degrees of shoe angle rotation. So if I had 190 degrees, chances are I'll be, slightly happier. So, but nevertheless, I got the job done fine. Swath width. This is the width of the bucket. Okay. The bigger the width, the more snow you could clear. It's kind of like a lawnmower. The bigger diameter the blade is, the more grass you could cut in a single pass. Same thing with this. The bigger the bucket, the faster you're going to get done snow blowing your driveway. Depth is how high the bucket is. So, the higher the better, especially for areas like Connecticut, New Jersey, upstate New York, probably all of New York. Vermont, New Hampshire, Montana, all these states that get a bunch of snow. Okay, Minnesota. Duty, you have light, heavy, or medium. Whatever the website's designated the machine as is what is listed here. Although I would argue that single stage gas and electric snowblowers are light duty. Maybe some teetering on a medium duty. But the Greenworks was listed as heavy duty. Okay. I don't know about that one, seriously, but then again, that Greenworks got rated #2 by Consumer Reports, as you can see here, so maybe it is. Snow type, again, single stage blowers, you're dealing with light snow, okay? For the most part, don't expect to be doing a blizzard with one of these unless you're one of those people that can't store these the adequate machine in your garage or shed. So then, yeah, you will have to use that in a blizzard, and it just could be a little bit of a pain in the ass. But you will get the job done. It'll be way easier on your back than a shovel. And, you know, we're not getting any younger here, including me and you. So, just a little warning there. The light right here, the light designation refers to a headlight. If it has one, I list it. And not many of them do have a headlight. And the last section, the last little criteria right here is Consumer Reports. If it made it to Consumer Reports, I will do one of two things. If it got listed as a best buy or a recommended buy, I list that, as in this machine right here, the Cub Cadet, and these, the Troy-Bilt. Also, none of these were rated as the recommended buy, so I didn't list that. But then they are placed on the list, and the higher they are on that list, meaning a 1 or a 2, the better they are than their competitors by all the criteria that Consumer Reports judges them on. And Consumer Reports is pretty thorough. But the beauty of this guide is I have Consumer Reports data and all the customer review data all condensed into one little buying guide. That, I mean, this sheet right here, you just print this sucker out and go to Lowe's, Home Depot, or Sears, or you click the links and shop from it directly. So whatever you want to do, it's easy. Or you could do other research yourself, which, listen, if you go to all these websites and read all the reviews yourself, you know you're going to spend hours and hours and hours reading those reviews, because there's pages and pages of them. I mean, some of these, look at this Toro, it has 535 reviews. Yes, you don't have to read all of them, but when you're buying something expensive, and the Toro is actually not expensive, you should probably read as much as possible, because, you know, sometimes there's a bad batch number, and the machines could have been really good in the beginning, but like, let's say in the beginning of 2013, everyone was happy with the snowblower, but then let's say in the end of 2013, in like December 2013, let's say they had a bad batch number. Let's say there was a drunk employee coming to work every day. He forgot to tighten the bolts and everyone's machine is breaking. The reviews will uncover that information, you know? So that's why you should really, once you pick a machine from here, you should read the reviews yourself, just as your own due diligence, and so you don't get screwed. Hey, I'm ProvenHelper. I'm just trying to help you. I have nothing to gain, by the way, if you buy any of these. You could buy whatever you want. You could buy yourself super shovels. I don't care. But in case you do want a snowblower, I did a lot of the work for you, so just throwing that out there. Okay, nice and big.
That's what she said.
So, Snow Joe SJ620. It had 227 reviews in November. Had an average rating of 4.3, and now it's 141. So, let's click on Snow Joe. Right now, it has 335 reviews. That is about 90 extra reviews in just a couple months, so that's good. And the average rating, it has not dropped. It maintained the 4.3, so that's good. But see what I mean here, right here? You see all the different star ratings? You could click on these and just dissect the reviews further. Okay, look, barely worked and broke during second use. Listen, guys, there's no such thing as a perfect product. you have to understand that you will be reading bad reviews for any machine that I picked, or any machine you pick, any machine Consumer Reports picks. So keep that in mind. That's why I really suggest you read the reviews for yourself. Read the bad with the good. But see, this has 200 5-star and 86 4-star. So you add those together, that's almost 300 reviews. And then you have about 50 negative-ish reviews. So, this is a fairly good machine. Whoa, let's just keep going further. Okay, Joe. So, 13.5 amp engine, push button start. It moves 650 pounds of snow in 1 minute, and it could throw that snow 20 feet away from you. Flat terrain, paved surfaces only, fair handling, 180-degree shoot angle. It got an 18-inch bucket. Oh, by the way, this is that car I was talking about. Oh, I'm pointing, but I'm so silly. You can't see me pointing, can you? See that red car? These are my 2 cars on screen, by the way. That's the Mustang I converted to a Salient. It's a fun car. It's a fun car. Anyways, let's go back to this. So it has no headlight. It's a light duty machine, and it was not on a Consumer Reports list of machines. That doesn't mean it's not good. What that means is Consumer Reports cannot buy every single product. They don't have infinite amounts of money to do that. But when it comes to snowblowers, they bought a crap load of them. That's crazy. Huge list. Huge list. Anyways, Toro 38381. 346 reviews in November, 4.1 rating, $299. Okay, let's see what the Toro has now. 405 reviews, so about 55 more. 4.1 rating, so that maintained the same rating. Oops, and there's a little better shot. So see, the wheels are not powered. It's like lawnmower wheels, and the auger spins and propels it forward, and you do have a chute you can control. Looks like a nice little machine. It sure does. Okay. So, what? So, okay, 15 amps, push button start. It moves 700 pounds of snow, and it could throw that snow 20 feet. Flat terrain. Guys, I'm not even going to mention the terrain and the surface anymore for the single stage electric snow blowers, because I don't think it's worth mentioning anymore. 160-degree shoot angle, 18-inch bucket, 12-inch high. The other one was only 10 inches high. Light snow, all of them are light snow for single stage electric, in my opinion. Rated number one at Consumer Reports, so that's big. Yeah, okay. Greenworks 26032, 349 reviews, 4.1 rating, $156. And what is Greenworks now? Now we have 528 reviews and a 4.1. So the rating maintained the same. The reviews have skyrocketed. So that's like 180 more reviews. So this thing is selling like flapjacks. Okay, it's 172 now. So the Greenworks, it's a little more money now. Got a 12 amp engine. It pushes 850 pounds of snow, and it could throw that snow 20 feet. They did say this could do sloped surfaces. Handling is good. Shoot angle 180. Swath width 20. So it got the bigger bucket, which is why it could push more snow in a minute. And the bucket is 10 inches high. It said that it is heavy duty, and it could do heavy snow. And Consumer Reports gave it a number 2 on the list. So it is a good machine. By the way, if you're one of those people living in the Northeast that needs a small machine for storage, you might want to go with the Greenworks, just because, it did get really exceptional ratings, and it is a really good seller. And, the company and websites do list it as heavy duty. So anyways, Toro, 535 reviews in November, 3.9 average rating, $99. What is the Toro now? Total. 592 reviews, so about 60 more reviews. 3.9 rating, that maintained the same. And notice this thing does not have a chute. This is like what I call a snow broom, really, because look at this. You got a powered broom here, but people use this on decks. You know, look at this guy using it right there. And I'm not gonna play the video for a copyright reason. Oh, here's a deck picture. So it's not bad, and it's $111 now, and it was $99 before. And someone's trying to hang out with me right now, but I don't know them, so oh well. Anyways, 7.5 amp motor, and obviously that makes sense because it's so small. Still push button start, obviously it's electric, but it can only move 300 pounds of snow in a minute. Throws at 20 feet, flat terrain, but you know, you could walk this up a hill. I mean, it's like a power broom, but you know, maybe it could hurt your back. I don't know. It depends on its weight and how long you're going to be doing it for. You want to stick to paved surfaces. Handling, it has good handling because it's really a broom. You could angle it whatever way. 12-inch bucket, 6 inches high, light snow, light duty, rated number 7 for single stage electric snow throwers. Now we got the Works G650, 101 reviews, rated 4.0, $184. What is it now? Oh, look at this item under review. Ooh, there might be something wrong with the inventory of this item. So people are buying it, but maybe not receiving it. Anyways, 142 customer reviews. So that increased by 39. And 4.0 rating, same exact rating. The price has gone up about $20. And what else? Okay, so now we're moving on to the single stage gas snowblowers. We got the Pull & Pro PR621, 79 reviews in November, 4.1 for the rating, and $449. Let's look at it real quick. 90 reviews, and we got a 4.0. So we dropped, the rating has dropped, and the reviews have only increased by 11. But nevertheless, still a good machine. So let's go through this quickly. 208cc engine, push button start, moves 1,100 pounds of snow. 1,100 pounds of snow in a minute. Throws at 25 feet. Now here's the power of gas on you. It's better. It is moving way more snow. It can do sloped terrain, both types of surfaces apparently. 200-degree shoot angle, which is exceptional. 21-inch swath width, 13 inches depth. Light duty, light snow, no headlight, rated number 26 for single stage gas snowblowers. Toro 38282, 441 reviews, 4.5 average rating, $399, and now it is $399, but 545 reviews. So what the heck? That only increased by 10. The rating, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm off. I was looking at the wrong thing. So it was 441 reviews before. So now you have basically 100 more reviews. Awesome. So 4.4 rating. I had a 4.5 rating before, so it dropped a little bit. But the sheer amount of reviews indicates to me this is a good machine. But did you notice that there's 28 1-stars? You might want to look into that. Okay. Let's keep moving forward. Push button start, 1,100 pounds of snow, throws at 25 feet, flat terrain, paved surfaces only, really good at handling, 210 shoot angle, 18-inch bucket, so that's 1.5 feet, 1 foot deep. Snow is what you could do. Medium duty, heavy snow. No headlight, rated number 23. All right, now we're going to the Cub Cadet 1X 221 LHP. It only had 33 reviews, but it made Consumer Reports Best Buy list, so that's why it's on here. 4.4 average rating, $649. And this one I can't give you the current price because you have to find a place that still has this sucker in stock. Got a 4.4 rating, and that maintained the same rating. Only has 41 reviews now, and it had 33, so they sold a little more, not much. Again, Consumer Reports gave it really good ratings, and looking at the reviews, it got really decent reviews. So it's a Best Buy product from Consumer Reports. I had to calculate how many pounds of snow it could move to 1,100 pounds per minute, because it didn't list it, as well as just how much snow it could throw. I mean, how far it could throw the snow, 20 feet, based on its specs and the bucket width and height. Slope terrain, it could do it. Paved surfaces, good handling, 190-degree shoot angle, which is good. 21-inch swath width, 13-inch depth. Medium duty, light fluffy snow. Yes, it has a headlight, and it's, like I said again, Consumer Reports Best Buy product. Okay, guys, the creme de la creme, the ending of our first video cast. 2-stage gas snowblowers. A must, really, for anyone living in northern states. Or we'll see what global warming does. You know, global warming, yes, it's warming the earth, but it's also causing strange weather patterns. That's why it's going to snow in Georgia actually today. It's probably snowing there right now. So we'll see if they're prepared this time around, because last time they weren't. And if you're in Georgia, maybe you want to buy yourself one of the single-stage electric snowblowers, maybe the Toro 38361 for 99 bucks, if you could get it down there, which I don't know if you can. Anyways, 2-stage or dual-stage snowblowers, the Sno-tek 920-402, 575 reviews, 4.6 rating, $629, and the price is the same. The reviews have been increased by almost 100. It's going fairly well. The rating is 4.5, so that dropped a little bit. But look at this machine. This thing is it's a sexy snowblower. There could be such a thing. Okay, $629 before. I forgot. Yeah, that's the same. Sorry. It's the old age, you know. Forget things that happened 1 second ago. 208 cc's, push button starter, 1,700 pounds of snow. Calculated, it could move in 1 minute. It throws at 40 feet. Now that was stated. Flat terrain, which is silly. I don't know why it can't do both. Great handling, 205-degree shoot angle, which is great. 22 feet bucket width, 20-inch height, depth. Medium duty, heavy wet snow, no headlight. Consumer Reports Best Buy. Moving on, Craftsman 88970, 128 reviews in November, 4.0, $683. Let's see what it got now. Oh god, they screwed up the website again. What monkeys. They screwed it up again. Let me scroll down. It's probably down here somewhere. Oh my god, please. Okay, 117 reviews, and before the Craftsman had 128. They screwed this up. They screwed this up, and I apologize. Oh no, I'm sorry, 147 reviews. So it had a little bit of movement in this area. Not much, about 20. What is the average rating, you say? I would say it's a 4.0 according to this. Oh shit. Whoops. Whoops, I had to edit that out. $683 now. And $683 before. 208cc engine, push button start, calculated 1,900 pounds of snow it can move in a minute, calculated 30 foot throwing distance. All terrain types, all surface types, great handling, 190-degree shoot angle, 26-inch bucket, 21-inch high bucket. Medium duty, heavy wet snow, no headlight, rated number 28 on Consumer Reports. Okay, Troy-Bilt 2410, 244 reviews, 4.5 rating, $599, and we're wrapping this up soon, I promise. 332 reviews now, 22 reviews, and 4.5 rating. Rating is the same. The reviews have increased a lot. About 80 more reviews, 80 more happy people in just a short few months. Probably people suffering from these crazy weather conditions we're having lately. That's who bought these. Okay, $599. It calculated 1,700 pounds of snow it could move in a minute. 40-foot throwing distance, which is perfect if you have a neighbor you hate. Point the shoot at their lawn, at their driveway. Crank your choke up to full, or whatever the gas lever, and just power through, and you're gonna make your neighbor very angry at you. Which, it's up to you if you want to do that. I don't recommend it unless your neighbor is a really big something. Anyways, 180-degree shoot angle, 24-inch bucket, 21-inch high bucket. Medium duty, heavy wet snow, no headlight, but it's a Consumer Reports Best Buy. Now we have the machine that I have the pleasure of owning. Its sibling, but my sibling is very old. It's between 15 to 20 years old. It's the Arians 920014, 410 reviews back in November, 4.6 rating, $799, and I'm gonna blow your pants off right now. 860 reviews. That's 450 more reviews. If you're buying a dual stage blower, go buy this thing. This thing is bananas right here. Just look at the numbers right here. I mean, yes, 20 people complained, but roughly 800 people are they think this thing is the cat's meow. No, this thing is awesome. 4.6 rating, and I think it maintained that. Yeah, it did. The price is the same, and this is just from November 20th till February 11th. Incredible sales on that product. Incredible support for this product. People are just giving it a lot of reviews. They must be really happy with that product. So, by far, this is my third time trying to tape this video. By far, that's the best improvement in sales, and it's the most impressive machine on this list, on any list really. 208cc engine, push button start, calculated 1,700 pounds of snow it can move in a minute. Throws at 40 feet. So again, if you got that annoying neighbor, this is a good machine to buy. All terrain types, all surface types, excellent handling, 205-degree shoot angle, 2-foot wide bucket, that's 20 inches high, just 4 inches shy of 2 feet high. Medium duty, heavy wet snow. Yes, it has a headlight, and rated number 11 in Consumer Reports, but really rated number 1 in my book. We had it for so long, and did we have problems? Yes. In our machine, there's a little cotter pin on the wheel hub, and one time it fell out, and we had a one-wheel drive, so we just had to buy another one, fix that problem. Recently it jammed, and remember, this is after 20 years of use, but we just got to replace a small little part, and that thing will be back in business. You just plug an extension cord to the snowblower and press a little button. It starts as long as you have gas in there, and it's very reliable, works every time, so I like it. Oh, we also had a flat tire, which we got repaired. All right, last machine, Troy-Bilt 2620, 148 reviews in November, 4.2 average rating. It was $759. Price is the same. The reviews have gone up. 12 more reviews, 14 more reviews. What about the rating? The rating is 4.3, and that has actually improved by 0.1. So that's a good thing. Very good thing indeed. And again, even on a Lowe's website, you could get that. You could get a further. You could see all the different star ratings if you just hover over the review text. Okay. can't talk right now, folks. Too much talking from you. All right, 208cc motor, push button start, calculated 1,900 pounds of snow can move in 1 minute. Throws that snow 40 feet. All terrains, all surfaces, great handling. 200-degree shoot angle. Oh, 26-inch bucket width. That's impressive. The bucket is 21 inches high. Medium duty, heavy wet snow is what this can do easily. Yes, it has a headlight, and it was rated number 36 on Consumer Reports list of snowblowers for the dual stage models. All right, folks. My personal recommendation. One machine on here impressed me a lot, and I'm from the Northeast, so I would suggest the Ariens. Just the sheer amount of happy customers is very impressive. So. And as far as the other models, it really depends on your price range and what you're looking for. Another thing I do want to mention, though, is look at the prices. Look at the Cub Cadet single-stage blower. $649, right? Now, let me just check something real quick for you. I forgot that one doesn't have the price. Look, you could get yourself a Sno-tek for less money, and it's a dual-stage blower, and it has way better reviews and a lot more reviews. And it could throw a lot more snow a lot further. It's just a much more capable machine. So that's another thing to consider. Some of these single stage blowers are still expensive, and you might be able to get yourself a lower model dual stage model, but I think I would rather go with a dual stage as long as you have the storage space. Anyways, guys, like I said, this is my third time taping this video, so yeah, a lot of time has been invested here. So if you could click the thumbs up, at least I'll know that someone appreciates all the work I put into this. Because from this moment on, I'm gonna be editing this video, so I didn't mess up too much, so not a lot of editing. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to ProvenHelper yet, you should. Just check out my other videos. I got lots of awesome stuff that will basically save you money. And who the hell doesn't want to save money? So, ProvenHelper, I'm out.